Alright guys, this is Troy with Human Touch, and here we have the Super Novo. Real quick, we're going to go over the user, or how to use this remote, how to do some particular things. So as far as using the auto programs, or just the remote in general, this is your power button, okay? You can, if you're going to shut off the chair, you go to power off. This is your selection button. Just for the sakes of the video, to speed it up, I'm going to just hit stop. That would keep the chair in the space that it's in, and it'd shut off all the bags and that sort of thing. So basically auto, you have auto programs: tension relief, yoga studio, performance, full body, upper body, lower body, and demo. Read the manual. It'll tell you what these individual programs do. Now when you pick one, okay, you have how those massages are going to be, what technique they're going to be delivered to you in, whether it's shiatsu, Swedish sports, or Thai. These create higher intensities, lower intensities. They use different techniques. So just read the manual, what the difference between shiatsu, Swedish sports, and Thai are. It'll take you 2 minutes. Shiatsu and Swedish are going to be the softer to more mild programs. Sports and Thai will be more aggressive. Okay, again, shiatsu and Swedish will be softer to more mild. Oops. Sports and Thai will be more aggressive. All right. So auto, again, you pick any of those, then pick how you want it delivered, whether it's shiatsu, Swedish sports, or Thai. If you ever want to go back to the main menu, just hit the menu button. All right. Meditation. There are 3 more programs in meditation. You have meditation sleep, concentration, or unwind. These are really neat programs. I suggest you try one of those. I love the concentration one. These are generally 10 or 5-minute programs. If you ever want to change the length of them after you select it, for example, we'll go ahead and select one. Concentration starts the program, right? You see it's 5 minutes. I'm going to go to menu. I'm going to go to settings. I can go to time, and I can actually change the time. Like I could set it to 20. So by default, for whatever reason, it's a 5-minute program. It's just a short and sweet program. But you can, like I went to 20 and then went back to 10 just to show you. And again, now it says 10 minutes. So real quick, just for the sake of it, again, I'm going to hit stop. I'm going to shut the program off. So 4D programs, these are ones that I often like to show people. Shiatsu is a fantastic program, 4D Shiatsu, and 4D Stretch. If you wanted to do that lumbar stretch, that's a really good stretching program. Another great lumbar stretch program is the Auto Yoga Studio and Stretch, right? That's down here at the bottom. So that's another great stretch program. You can just select that. Okay, now after the 4D programs, one other thing to show you is manual. So this is very neat and detailed part of this chair. So select it. You choose a mode: kneading, tap and touch, percussion, shiatsu, kneading and percussion, or audio sync is when you sync the chair to your phone and you have music playing. You can choose audio sync, and it will actually massage you to the rhythm of the music. So that's a very neat program, and that's how you would do it. First, in order to do that, I'll just briefly show you. You would go to settings. This is how you would set your phone up. You would go to Bluetooth. You have it on. You want to check on your phone under your Bluetooth settings for the Novo or the Super Novo by HT. You would click on it, and then you would be able to play your own music that way. So to get out of it, hit the menu button. We'll go back to manual. And again, so you would choose kneading, for example. Shoulder setting, real quick. Every time you pick a program, you will choose a shoulder setting. This depends on how high you want it to start on your neck. For example, this would be a 9, and all the way down here where the black meets the color, that would be a 1 on the remote. You able to see that? Right? So that would be a 1 on the remote. Would be, again, right down here. So this would be a 9. Like I generally like a 6, right? Or a 5 would be kind of be right in the middle from the top to the, again, where the material starts here. That would be about a 5. So after you've sat in this a few times, you start to learn what your height is, or your shoulder position. And again, a quick way to change that is to press one of the position buttons here. It re-brings this up. You can set it to whatever you like. I personally like a 6 or a 7, depending on how high I want it on my head for that massage. and I would implement it by pressing that circle button. When you first start kneading or percussion or shiatsu or whatever you put it on, you can, if you want to change the intensity, you can go to 3D. You see how I just hit up or down and it highlights these areas? I'm going to hit up again and it immediately goes to 3D. I could scroll to the right a couple times. So basically 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100% of the intensity. If you don't press this button to implement it, you see it goes right back down to 1. If you want to implement it, you would press that circle button after you've highlighted it, and it will implement that extra intensity. Now it's going to be stronger. Alright, so back to manual. If you want to change the technique it's doing on the back, if you don't want to do kneading, go to manual. For example, I love to show people shiatsu. That's when it kind of rolls up and down your whole spine. You just choose that. You can, when you're doing shiatsu, tap and touch, or percussion, you can change the width of the rollers, and you can do so by going to width. You can have it narrow, medium, or wide. You notice I just scroll to the right, select which one I want. Narrow makes it closer to the spine, and now it's going to roll up and down my back at a narrow width. Let's say you wanted to target an area on your neck. Okay, and shiatsu is not the best example to show this, so let's do, for example, kneading. We're going to choose kneading. I'm going to go to focus. We'll go to spot. Okay, select that, and I'm going to hit menu to bring me back. I'm going to hit it again to bring me back to this screen. Now I can see, you see the little blue dot, I can see where the rollers are at. I'm going to hold on to the position buttons. If I want it to go up to my neck, I'm going to hold on to the position button, and the rollers are going to come all the way up to the top of my neck. Okay, and you see it again following that blue dot, right? And oh, that's the perfect spot. I'm going to leave it right there. Now if I wanted to move up and down in that area, right, it's worked out that area. And mind you, real quick, I'm just going to hit this menu button again to show me this. If that spot moves around, you can just hold down and find it again and let go of it when it's in the spot. If you want to increase the intensity, right, highlight that 3D, bump it up one more notch, and press that circle button to increase that intensity, right? If you want to decrease it, highlight the 3D, go down to whatever you want to decrease it to, and press the circle button to implement that change, okay? Now let's say we want to focus or we want it to roll up and down in particular areas. So we found the perfect spot. This is going to be kind of the middle. This is kind of the middle of our trouble area. I'm going to go to focus, zone, and shorts is a 3-inch up and down, medium is a 6-inch up and down, and long is 9 inches up and down from that middle spot that we just chose. So we choose medium, and then again select it. Hit menu a couple times, and it's just going to show it's going to move up and down in that particular area. So a lot of control on this, guys. Again, don't be afraid to play around with it. You're not going to hurt the chair at all. Going back to manual, because there's quite a bit to show you. You can change the speed. How fast do you want it to knead? By default, it's a 2. You can put it on a 1 to make it knead a little bit slower, right? Slower movement. If you want it to be faster, you can bump it all the way up to 5, and it's really going to knead very fast. So again, a lot of control, a lot of options on this. All right, now I'm going to show you guys Cloud Touch, guys. So we're going to hit the menu button. We're going to move to Cloud Touch. Cloud Touch is all the compression around the body. Okay, right now it's off. Anytime you pick one of the programs, it will incorporate or also do or use the Cloud Touch. It'll use full body, except for, real quick, the upper body and the lower body programs. If you do upper body, the rollers will be in the neck and the shoulders and the upper body, and it will use the arm and hand and shoulder compression. It will not do the hip compression. It will not do the calves and the feet compression. Again, so if you do lower body, the rollers will roll all the way down to your bottom, and they will work your calves and your feet. The arm shoulder compression will not operate. If you pick one of these, auto, let's do upper body. If you pick one of these, like shiatsu, if you want to turn all the compression on, go to Cloud Touch in the menu, You see how the arm and shoulder and back and waist are highlighted? I could scroll over, I could highlight full, and I could select that. And now all of the compression will turn on. By default, both the back intensity and the cloud touch intensity will be low. Okay? So you can turn that up or down, highlight what you want, and again, implement it by pressing that button. So that is cloud touch. If you ever want to shut off if it's hurting on your calves and your feet while you're doing a program, you can always go to cloud touch, right? It's on full. Again, the majority of the programs will be on full intensity. You can select arm and shoulder. Let's say we want that part to be working. We want the back and waist to be working. We do not want the leg and foot. We want to shut that off. And we want the hips to still be moving around. So we'll turn on all the compression except for the leg and foot. So now everything else was going to continue. The foot massage, the rollers will still continue to work on the bottom of the feet, but it will stop compressing our calves and our feet. So that's very neat. If you want to, just while we're speaking on compression, again, if you want to move those calf compressors higher to the knees, go to settings, go to knee, highlight up, and hold on to that, and you feel the knee portion will move up. Now it's all the way up. I'm going to bring it down just so you can see how it moves up and down. Again, that is in the that's the settings, and go find knee. It's the third option down. So bring the camera back over here. So that's how to use it's really everything on the cloud touch. We focused on intensity, we focused, and we showed you how to target a pinpoint particular area. So heat, let's go over the heat button real quick. Couple ways to turn on the heat. You can either press the heat button right here, okay, heat, and you'll see the heat icon will come on. All right, by default it's medium heat on the back and medium heat on the foot and calves. So we'll hit menu. Let's say we want to turn that up. We go to heat, right, back and leg. Let's say we want the back to be high, all right, and let's say we want the legs to be low. So you do have the ability to turn, or you can even turn off the leg heat if you wanted to. So you do have full control over this. Or I like it on high on everything. So it all depends on your personal preference, but that's a nice feature. Another way you can control the heat is, I'm going to bring you over to this dial here. So you can actually press the heat here. If you ever press that heat button, it will by default be 50% of the heat, or it'll put it on medium heat on the back and medium heat on the foot and the calf. So real quick, while we're here with the dials as well, you have a pause and resume button. If you hit pause, let's say your telephone or your cell phone rings, you can pull that up and you can take the call, then put your phone right back here and press the pause button again, and it will resume the program where you left it off. If you have sound on, let's show you the sound real quick. I'm going to bring this over. Menu, we're going to go to Sound Soothe. You have 8 built-in therapeutic sounds. You can, as we mentioned earlier, sync the phone to your chair or your tablet to your chair, or even your TV, and you can play whatever you want through these speakers, or you can choose one of the sounds like Seaside, let's say. So that's kind of the waves crashing in the background. So highlight it, press that button, it implements it, okay? By default, you may or may not be able to start hearing that, but I can hear it from where I'm at. By default, it's the volume is level 2, but you do have 5 levels of volume. You can control it right here, right? Or go back over to this dial. We can press the sound button, and now I can increase the volume, right? Or I can decrease it this way. And when you don't want to when you don't want to control the volume anymore on this, just press that volume button. When that button is not pressed, you can, using this dial, this will sit you up, right, clockwise, sits you up, and counterclockwise will lean you back, okay? Real neat thing about this dial, you can also hold on to it for 3 seconds, and it fully restores the chair. That's a really neat feature on this chair. And I'm gonna stop it here, right, just by pressing the power button again, so it stops now that it's down. It has not moved all the way back to the wall. But if I press it once to turn it on, if I press it again, it immediately implements the first program on the chair. It's a default program called Tension Relief. You will still have to set your shoulder height here, right? So let's say 7, and then Again, you can change any of the intensities, but the first program, that's just a quick way to start your program, is to hit that button once to turn it on, hit it again in order to start the attention relief program.
Sure.
All right, guys, so settings, let's go over some of the settings here. You hear the beeping. If you want that off, go to settings, intensity, time, knee, stretch, Bluetooth, language. I just hit up once and it brought me all the way down to the bottom of that menu. And there's the beep on. I'm going to shut that off. Now this brings up foot speed. This is another way to control the intensity of your feet. By default, they will be slow. That makes it slightly more aggressive or intense. The compression is another way to control the intensity. But if you put it on medium or fast, that will be softer than if you have it on slow. You do have the option also to shut those foot rollers off. Another way to control the foot intensity is, real quick, let's bring you down here to the feet. I'm going to stop the program. I'm going to extend the feet out. You can unzip this portion here, all right? And there's a foot softening pad in here. You can remove this. This will make the foot massage a lot more aggressive in the future. I've used my Novo XT for a very long time. Again, this is a Super Novo, but I've had the Novo XT for a few years now. I remove these in mine. I like it max intensity now. I put the compression on max intensity and I remove this. That makes the foot massage very strong and very intense. So initially when you first start using this chair, you know, you probably want to leave these in. If someone in the house likes a very strong foot massage and they want these removed and the other person does not, you can pull them out, have them set next to the chair, and when the person that likes a softer foot massage is using it, they can then just slide them in right on top like so. So that's kind of an easy handling or an easy fix for them. So I'm just going to slide it back in there. It's not terribly difficult. And then zip this up. Want to make sure you're not snagging anything while you're doing it. Again, just be gentle on the chair, and boom, not real difficult, guys. So that's a little tip as far as increasing and decreasing the foot massage intensity. The other thing regarding the foot massage intensity is the cloud touch. We briefly went over this, but if the leg and foot is too strong, when you're in the middle of a program, I'll go ahead and select the program here. We'll just do tension relief, all right? When you're in the middle of a program, foot and calves are hurting too much, hit the menu button, go to cloud touch, and turn everything on except for the leg and the foot. So it will not compress the calves or the feet. Unfortunately, you can't just turn off the feet and leave the calves on, but it's still a good solution. You will get to the point where you can tolerate the foot massage and or the calf massage. Just do it as long as you can, then take some time to recover, and then do it again maybe the next day. You'll find what hurts you now won't necessarily hurt you 3 days from now or a week from now. Just to show you a couple more things on the Super Novo here, they will come with an arm. This is to put, it comes with 2 of these magnets, one to put on the remote, another to put on one of your phones if you would like. You can put your phone or your tablet here. This portion is also removable, so just an FYI. You can remove the arm, and there is a rubber plug here. It'll initially come with that rubber plug here, and if you want to leave that there and put the remote here, you can do that. If you would like to, again, have the remote arm there to hold the remote instead, that's totally fine. Do be sure, if you decide not to put the arm here and to store your remote here, when you're getting in and out of your chair, that you're not applying pressure on the screen or the remote, because you can crack the screen. So just something to keep in mind when you're getting in and out of your chair. On this side, we already went over the digital or the quick controls here. This you do have, again, your cell phone slot to put your cell phone. You have a jewelry tray to put rings, watch, and you have a USB charging port right there. But in short, I hope this video was helpful on your Super Novo. And if you have any questions or if there's anything else that we didn't go over, please leave comments below and we can address those for you as well.